Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Podcast English Channel, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Alex.
And I'm Emily. Hi, Alex. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Emily. I'm excited about our topic today. It's a big one, something I think everyone thinks about.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What are we talking about?
Today, we're going to talk about how to control your life. It can feel like life is just happening to us sometimes, right? Like we are passengers in a car, not the driver.
Exactly. Sometimes I feel so busy and stressed. I have work, family, things to do, and I feel like I'm just reacting to everything. I don't feel in control. I think our listeners might feel this way too.
I'm sure they do. So in this long episode, we're going to break it down into simple, practical steps. We want to give our listeners some tools and ideas to feel more like the driver of their own life.
That sounds wonderful. So, where do we start? What is the first step to controlling your life?
The first and most important step is to understand the difference between what we can control and what we cannot control. Many people waste a lot of energy worrying about things they cannot change.
That's so true. Can you give some examples? What are some things we can't control?
Sure, we can't control the weather, we can't control the traffic, we can't control what other people think or say about us, and we definitely can't control the past.
The traffic. I get so stressed when I'm stuck in traffic. I worry about being late, but you're right. I cannot control it. So, what can we control in that situation?
That's the key question. You can't control the traffic, but you can control your reaction to it. You can control the music you listen to in the car. You can control your breathing to stay calm. And you can control what time you leave your house. If you know traffic is bad, maybe you can leave 15 minutes earlier next time.
That makes so much sense. So, we should focus our energy on our actions and our reactions. This idea is sometimes called the circle of control. Can you explain that a little?
Of course. Imagine two circles. A big circle is your circle of concern. This includes everything you care about: your health, your family, your job, the news, the weather, what people think of you.
Okay, so that circle is very big. It has a lot of things in it.
Exactly. Now, inside that big circle, there is a smaller circle. This circle has the things you can directly do something about. For example, your attitude, your choices, your words, your habits, how much you exercise, what food you eat.
I see. So, people who feel stressed and out of control are maybe focusing on the big circle, the circle of concern.
That's the idea. They worry about things they cannot change. But people who feel in control of their lives focus on the small circle, the circle of control. They put their time and energy into things they can actually change.
So, a practical step for our listeners is to think about their worries. When they feel worried, they can ask themselves, is this in my circle of control?
Perfect, Emily. Let's make it an exercise. Think about something you are worried about right now. For example, maybe a listener is worried about an important exam next week.
Okay, the exam. What parts of that are outside of their control?
They can't control what questions will be on the exam. They can't control if the room will be too cold or too hot. They can't control if another student is coughing during the exam.
Right, and what parts are inside their control?
They can control how much they study. They can control if they get a good night's sleep before the exam. They can control eating a healthy breakfast. They can control arriving at the exam hall early. When you focus on these things, you feel more powerful and less worried.
This is a really powerful first step. It's about changing your focus. Instead of saying, I'm so worried about the exam, you can say, what can I do today to prepare for my exam? You become proactive, not reactive.
That's a great word, proactive. Proactive means you make choices and take action to control a situation. The opposite is reactive, which means you just react to events after they happen. Taking control of your life is about being more proactive.
So, to summarize this first part, identify what you can and cannot control. Focus your energy on your circle of control. This will help you feel more empowered and less stressed.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Welcome back. So, we've talked about focusing on what we can control. The next big area we can control is our mind, our mindset.
Mindset. That means how we think about things, our perspective, right?
Exactly. Two people can be in the same situation but have a very different experience because of their mindset. For example, imagine two people lose their job.
Okay, that's a very difficult situation.
It is. Person A might think, this is a disaster. My life is over. I will never find another job. This is a negative mindset. It makes them feel hopeless, and they probably won't take any action.
And person B?
Person B might think, this is very difficult and scary, but maybe it's an opportunity. Maybe I can find a job I like more. What skills can I learn to get a better job? This is a positive or a growth mindset.
So the situation is the same, but the mindset changes everything. Person B feels more in control because they're looking for opportunities and actions they can take.
Precisely. Controlling your life starts with controlling your thoughts. This doesn't mean you must always be happy. It's okay to feel sad or angry. But it means you don't let those negative thoughts control you. You acknowledge the feeling, and then you choose to focus on what you can do next.
That's much harder than it sounds, though. How can people practice this? How can we become more aware of our thoughts and change our mindset?
A great tool for this is self-awareness. Self-awareness is the ability to see yourself clearly, to understand your thoughts, your feelings, your strengths, and your weaknesses.
And how do we build self-awareness?
One of the simplest and most effective ways is journaling. Journaling is simply writing down your thoughts and feelings. You don't need a special book. You can use a notebook or even an app on your phone.
What should you write about?
It can be very simple. At the end of each day, you could answer 3 questions. What is one thing that went well today? What is one thing that was challenging today? And what did I learn today?
I like those questions. The first one makes you focus on the positive. The second one helps you see problems you can maybe solve. And the third one helps you see that every day is a chance to grow.
Exactly. After a few weeks of journal, you start to see patterns. You might notice that you feel happiest when you talk to friends, or you might notice that you feel most stressed on Mondays. This information is power. It helps you understand yourself.
And when you understand yourself, you can make better choices. If you know you are stressed on Mondays, you can be proactive. Maybe you can prepare for Monday on Sunday evening so the morning is easier.
You've got it. Another part of self-awareness is understanding your values. Values are the things that are most important to you in life. For some people, it might be family. For others, it could be adventure or security or creativity.
How does knowing your values help you control your life?
When you know your values, making decisions becomes much easier. Let's say one of your top values is health. You are offered a new job. The job pays a lot of money, but you have to work 70 hours a week and you won't have time to exercise or cook healthy food.
If my value is health, that job is probably not a good choice for me, even with the high salary. It goes against what is important to me.
Exactly. But if you don't know your values, you might just take the job for the money and then feel unhappy and unhealthy later. Knowing your values is like having a compass. It helps you make sure your life is moving in the direction you want it to go.
So, to recap this section, we need to work on our mindset, trying to see opportunities instead of just problems. We can build self awareness through practices like journaling, and we should take time to understand our personal values to guide our decisions. All of this is happening in our minds, and it's completely in our control.
Welcome back to our conversation on how to control your life. We've talked about focusing on what you can control and developing a strong mindset. Now let's talk about turning thoughts into reality. This is where goals come in.
Goals. I think everyone knows what goals are, but many people, including me, are not very good at achieving them. I often make a big goal, like I want to be healthier, but I don't know where to start. It feels too big.
That is a very common problem. A goal like be healthier is a wish, not a plan. To take control, we need to set clear, actionable goals. A great method for this is setting SMART goals.
SMART? That's an acronym, right? What does it stand for?
Yes, S.M.A.R.T. stands for S, stand for specific. M stand for measurable. A stand for achievable. R stand for relevant. T stand for time bound.
Okay, that's a lot to remember. Can we break it down using my goal? I want to be healthier.
Let's do it. First, S for specific. Be healthier is not specific. How do you want to be healthier? Do you want to eat better? Do you want to exercise more? Let's choose one. Let's say you want to exercise more. A more specific goal is, I want to start running.
Okay, I want to start running. That is more specific. What's next? M for measurable. Measurable means you can track your progress. How do I measure that?
You can measure it by distance or by frequency. For example, I will run 3 times every week. Now you can measure it. At the end of the week, you can ask, did I run 3 times? Yes or no, it's clear.
I like that. It's clear if I succeeded or not. Next is A for achievable. Achievable means it is realistic. You can actually do it.
Right. If you have never run before, a goal like, I will run a marathon next month is probably not achievable. It might make you quit. An achievable goal could be, I will run for 20 minutes 3 times a week to improve my health.
That sounds much more possible for a beginner. It's not too scary. Okay, what about R for relevant? Relevant means it's important to you.
Yes, does this goal matter to your bigger life plan? For our example, yes, running is relevant to your bigger wish of being healthier. This letter makes you check if you are spending your time on things that are truly important to you and your values.
That connects back to what we said about values. Perfect. And finally, T for time bound. This must mean it has a deadline?
Exactly. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. So you could say, I will run for 20 minutes 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks. Now you have a clear plan with a start and an end. At the end of 4 weeks, you can check your progress and set a new goal.
Wow, let's compare. My first goal was I want to be healthier. My new SMART goal is for the next 4 weeks, I will run for 20 minutes 3 times per week to improve my health. The second one feels so much more real and controllable.
And that's the point. It gives you a clear plan. But there's one more important tip here. Break it down even more.
What do you mean?
Your goal is to run 3 times a week. Now get your calendar and schedule it. When will you run? Monday at 7 a.m., Wednesday after work, Saturday morning. When you put it in your schedule, it becomes a real appointment with yourself.
So you are taking a big idea and breaking it into small, manageable steps. That feels much less overwhelming. You are not just hoping it will happen, you are making a concrete plan for it to happen.
That is the essence of taking control. You're not waiting for motivation to appear. You are creating a system to make sure you do what you say you want to do. This applies to anything: learning English, saving money, starting a new project. Set a SMART goal and break it down into the smallest possible steps.
I love this. It's so practical. So we've covered our mindset, and now we have a tool for turning our desires into action with SMART goals.
And we are back. The final piece of the puzzle we're going to discuss today is habits and routines. This is how you make your progress last.
Habits? You mean the things we do automatically without thinking, like brushing our teeth?
Exactly. Think about how much of your day is run by habits. You wake up, maybe you check your phone, you make coffee, you take a shower. You do these things without making a conscious decision.
That's true. I don't have to decide to brush my teeth, I just do it.
Right. Now, what if your positive actions like exercising or studying English were also automatic habits? Imagine how much progress you would make. Building good habits is a way to put your success on autopilot.
That sounds amazing, but habits, especially good ones, are hard to build, and bad habits are hard to break.
They can be, but there are simple ways to start. One popular idea is to start incredibly small, so small that you can't say no.
What do you mean by incredibly small?
Let's say you want to build a habit of reading every day. Don't start with the goal of read 1 hour every day. That's too big. Start with read 1 page every day.
Just 1 page? Anyone can do that. It takes maybe 2 minutes.
Exactly. The goal isn't to read a whole book in the beginning. The goal is to build the habit of opening the book and reading every single day. You need to become the kind of person who reads daily. After you read 1 page every day for a month, it starts to feel automatic. Then you can increase it to 2 pages, then 10 pages, then a whole chapter.
This is called the 2-minute rule, right? Start a new habit with something that takes less than 2 minutes.
That's the one. Want to learn guitar? Just take the guitar out of its case every day. Want to start exercising? Just put on your workout clothes. The start is the hardest part. Make the start as easy as possible.
I can see how that would work. It removes the resistance. Another thing I've heard about is the power of routines. How does a routine help us take control?
A routine is just a series of habits you do at a certain time of day. For example, a morning routine. Many successful people have a morning routine. It sets the tone for the whole day.
What would be in a simple morning routine?
It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be wake up and drink a glass of water, do 5 minutes of stretching, write down 3 things you are grateful for, look at your plan for the day. This whole routine might only take 15 minutes, but it starts your day with purpose. You are being proactive, not reactive. You are not just waking up and immediately checking stressful emails on your phone.
You're starting the day in your circle of control.
Perfectly said. You control the first part of your day, which makes you feel more in control for the rest of the day. You can have an evening routine too, a routine to help you relax and prepare for a good night's sleep. Maybe you turn off screens 1 hour before bed, read a book, and prepare your clothes for the next day.
Preparing clothes for the next day is a great, simple action that makes the morning so much easier. It removes one decision you have to make when you are tired.
And that brings up a final point: decision fatigue. Throughout the day, we have to make hundreds of small decisions. What to wear, what to eat, what to work on first. These small decisions use up our mental energy.
So by the end of the day, you feel tired and it's hard to make good decisions.
Exactly. Routines and habits help reduce decision fatigue. When you have a routine, many of your actions are automatic. You don't have to decide to exercise in the morning. It's just what you do. This saves your mental energy for the big, important decisions.
So by building good habits and creating simple routines are powerful ways to control your life by making success automatic and saving your mental energy.
You've got it.
Well, we have covered a lot of ground today in our 90-minute special. Let's do a quick recap for our listeners.
Great idea. So we broke down how to control your life into 4 main ideas. First, we talked about understanding the circle of control. Focus your time and energy only on the things you can actually change, like your actions and attitude, not on things you can't, like the weather or other people.
Next, we discussed the power of mindset and self-awareness. We learned that controlling your thoughts is the first step to controlling your life. We can practice this through journaling and by understanding our personal values, which act as a compass for our decisions.
Then we moved from thought to action with setting SMART goals. Instead of vague wishes, we can create goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And we must break them down into small, scheduled steps. And finally, we talked about making it all last with habits and routines. By building small positive habits and creating simple morning or evening routines, we can put our success on autopilot and reduce decision fatigue.
It feels like a complete roadmap. It shows that taking control of your life isn't one big magical action. It's a series of small, consistent choices that you make every single day.
That's the most important message. Don't feel overwhelmed. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one small thing, just one. Maybe this week you can focus on identifying your circle of control, or maybe you can try journaling for just 5 minutes each night.
Start small, be consistent, and be patient with yourself. That sounds like a great way to start taking control.
It certainly is.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope this conversation was helpful for all of you learning English and looking to make positive changes in your life.
Thank you so much for listening. What is one small thing you will do this week to take more control of your life? Let us know in the comments.
Join us again next time on Podcast English Channel. Until then, keep learning and take care.
Bye, everyone.